Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you've ever felt like your software development cycles are just spinning their wheels, churning out features at lightning speed but somehow still getting buried under technical debt and bloated code, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're breaking down how to seriously supercharge your development by shifting your mindset from traditional agile methodologies over to lean architecture. It's a total game changer that puts value way above sheer volume. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll cover what lean architecture is, dive into the 7 lean principles, look at a real-world food delivery case study, explore the lean architecture approach itself, and finally, compare lean versus agile metrics. All right, section 1. What is lean architecture? So what are we actually talking about when we say lean in the software world? Sure, it's a bit of a buzzword, but the mechanics behind it are incredibly grounded. Basically, we're taking those highly efficient, well-oiled concepts originally built for physical factory floors and slapping them directly onto the code we write. The whole design approach circles around 3 main things: reducing waste, improving efficiency, and maximizing customer value. It's about being ruthless. You strip away anything in your process or your code base that doesn't directly add value for the end user. Bottom line, if it doesn't serve the customer, it's just noise. Moving right along to section 2, the 7 lean principles. Principle 1 sounds simple, but honestly, it's often the hardest to actually do. Eliminate waste. Think about this for a second. In some massive enterprise code bases, up to 30% of the code is rarely or frankly never executed. That is a wild amount of wasted effort. But waste isn't just bad code, right? It's bad processes. Picture a team spending hours every single week in status meetings just to update management, bleeding time away from actual development. Lean says, cut that out. Swap those endless meetings for quick, asynchronous dashboards. And in the code, it means having the guts to actually delete unused features. Less is genuinely more here. Principle 2 is all about building quality in. You know how in traditional setups, testing is often shoved to the very end of the cycle? Well, Lean completely flips that. We prevent defects early instead of scrambling to fix them later. Rather than waiting for the whole thing to break, you build quality in right from the get-go. So developers are writing automated unit and integration tests as they build the feature. That way, a nasty bug in, say, a payment module gets caught in the testing stage, way before it ever touches the live production environment. It saves you from those incredibly stressful, expensive bug fixes post-release. Next up, Principle 3, create knowledge. Let's be real, software development is a massive learning process, and Lean pushes us to reflect and improve constantly. We create knowledge by actually taking sprint retrospectives seriously. You sit down as a team and ask, what hit the mark? What missed? It's about turning those hard-learned lessons into immediate action. For example, if you figure out that slow API responses are causing user errors, the knowledge you just created dictates that your team needs to roll out a better caching strategy, like yesterday. Now, Principle 4 actually sounds kind of counterintuitive at first. Defer commitment. Usually, we want every single detail planned out perfectly, but Lean tells us to avoid over-designing and to hold off on making big decisions until the last responsible moment. Let's say you want to build a recommendation engine. Rather than architecting this massive, full-featured algorithm on day one, you just build a simple version first. You defer the heavy commitment. You let actual user data start rolling in, and you let that real-world data tell you what complex algorithm will actually work best. You save so much time by simply not building the wrong thing. Principle 5 pairs perfectly with that deferral. Deliver fast. You want to push out small, incremental updates so you can get that crucial early feedback. By delivering fast, you might release a super basic search feature first, just with simple filtering. You get it into users' hands, quickly discover they are desperate for price and cuisine filters, and then boom, you add those specific filters in the very next release. You completely sidestep wasting effort on features nobody actually asked for because the user is the one steering the ship. Principle 6 pivots from the tech side over to the human side. Respect people. You literally have to empower your team and your stakeholders to actually make decisions. Let the developers choose the right tech stack for the problem they're facing. Let designers and QA have a genuine say in feature priorities. When team members feel trusted and have real ownership, it naturally drives up their motivation and leads to way better innovation across the board. And finally, Principle 7, optimize the whole. This is a big one. You have to focus on overall system efficiency, not just hyper-optimizing individual modules. Imagine making one single microservice lightning fast. Sounds awesome, right? But wait, what if that newfound speed accidentally overloads and crashes your main database? Lean teaches us to look at the entire big picture. You have to analyze the whole workflow and smooth out the bottlenecks holistically so the entire system performs better. Okay, section 3, case study, food delivery. Theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually plays out in reality. Imagine a company is building a brand new food delivery app, something like an Uber Eats or DoorDash, and they decide to tackle it using a completely standard agile approach. Let's see what happens. So working in standard 2-week sprints, the team is just crushing it. They quickly churn out all the basic features you'd expect. We're talking user registration, food search, the cart and checkout flow, a super robust ratings and reviews section, and push notifications. The output is exceptionally fast, and the team is high-fiving, checking off boxes sprint after sprint. But then, bam, they hit a massive wall. Despite moving so fast, they start seeing some major red flags. First, they realize users aren't even touching that ratings and reviews feature they spent weeks perfecting. Second, the checkout process is painfully slow because the new code is a tangled mess with older payment modules. Technical debt is just skyrocketing, forcing them to constantly rework things. So yeah, the team is completing features incredibly fast, but the actual value they're delivering to the user is totally inconsistent. Which brings us to section 4, the lean architecture approach. This is exactly where that traditional agile model starts to fracture, and where we bring in our structured lean solution. Applying our lean tools, the team totally revamps their workflow in 4 clear steps. Step 1, they use value stream mapping. They map the exact flow from ordering to delivery and quickly realize, okay, checkout is critical, but ratings, low value for now, defer it. Step 2, just-in-time design. Instead of building a complex rating system up front, they design a beautifully modular checkout system, so adding payment methods later won't break the whole app. Step 3, continuous feedback. They slap automated testing on the checkout to squash bugs early and use real metrics to guide what they build next. And step 4, evolutionary design. They just let the architecture evolve naturally, adding those reviews only when the user data proves they actually need them, completely bypassing those massive, panicky code rewrites. Let's wrap things up with section 5. Lean versus agile metrics. Let's actually look at the scoreboard here to see the contrast. Check out delivery speed. Both teams are running 2-week sprints, sure, but Lean completely leaves Agile in the dust because there's minimal rework slowing them down. Look at feature value. Agile shipped some pretty low-value stuff, while Lean ensured absolutely every feature delivered was high value. Thanks to building quality in with automated testing, Lean drastically slashed bugs and technical debt compared to Agile. And the ultimate metric? User satisfaction. It is significantly higher with Lean, simply because the team stayed hyper-focused on the core features the users actually cared about. So, as you head back to review your own upcoming projects and sprint plans, I want to leave you with a tough question. What waste can you eliminate today? Seriously, what low-value features are clogging up your codebase right now that you could defer today to deliver massively more value tomorrow? Start thinking Lean and watch your team's efficiency go through the roof. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.